The day begin. The day begin. Whew. Let's see how this turns out. Oh my gosh, instant click-ins. Wonderful. Hello, guys. Oh, good luck. Good luck for me. So, how have you two been doing today? I don't quite have the chat up, so I don't see which Mr. Potato that is. Give me a moment, guys. Oh, goodness. Yeah, today is discussion day. Just gaming? Okay. Well, my gameplay is not going to be as much a focus today in stream. It's going to be present there, but largely today is a kind of a inventory taking, so to speak.
I'm glad we got Codsworth.
So today is, I guess, I took some self-inventory today. Ascertained really the state of my stream and my life itself, and decided that this was a talk needed having. It needed to be opened so that everybody who's been interested in my stream can really tell. Ah, so this is red, Mr. Potato. Got it. Okay. I didn't expect it was the blue one, but oh well.
It's that salesman again. I don't know why he keeps.
So, well, this is not exactly something I'm prepared for, so I'm not sure how to begin the conversation. I just know I need to have it, especially with all the different followers. Not at archery. Not at archery. He at archery. Got it. Gosh, my vision needs to correct itself. He's at archery. Interesting. I'll have
No offense, but no solicitation.
So,
oh, no worries, ma'am. No worries.
I know that, Mr. Potato, you've actually been reaching out to me during my non-stream days quite frequently, checking in to see whether I'm streaming or not, really.
Utmost urgency, I assure you.
So, how many different streams or videos or, I guess, live entertainment do you see, really? Personal questions are going to be part of this to a certain degree. Just not personal beyond that, really.
I'm, well, in a bit...
Maybe I don't want to talk to you.
No, you do. Now, I know you're a busy woman, so I won't take up much of your time. Time being,
I realize that since I moved, not a lot.
I'm here today to tell you.
So most of the time you're doing your own thing, and when I click in, you watch my streams? Is that how things typically balance out?
Local vault. Vault 111.
But I have a family. You can fit us all, right?
Of course. Of course.
I realize there's going to be a delay, mid of the US over to the UK, basically. Actually surprised at how little latency there was when you were in Australia that one time. That was surprising.
Total atomic annihilation. Won't take but a moment.
Sure. Let's do it.
Splendid. Splendid. Now,
but I believe you were the main viewer during my Titanfall 2 stream, yes, Mr. Potato? That was you. I want to say that without a doubt, really. I think that was you. Really got a kick out of that one. Wait, mainly don't watch this live stream. I'm confused. Is that a flip or is that... I'm trying to really ascertain what you mean by that. Mainly don't watch this live stream? I don't want to misunderstand that. I'm still a little... Oh, there. So you'd say you're pretty invested in this stream. This is one you're enjoying particularly? Is that the state? Or have I got that flipped? Yeah. Okay. Well, the reason I ask, and Dr. Whitefur, feel free to chime in with your own take on this one as well, before I've really committed to it. How much have, I suppose, do y'all want more of this stream? More regular streams? More diversity or more of the same? I want to know exactly what it is that y'all want from the stream, and then what y'all expect from the stream, to see how much those line up. I'm more interested in what you want to be doing, not necessarily what you're willing to be doing. I'm not exactly wanting this stream to be anything more than it's desired to be for those who've been passionate about it. I'm trying to approach this a little bit more from a business perspective to find out exactly what my audience is wanting the most. If you want the stream more regularly, if you want it to be a, well, enjoyment, I mean, I know you enjoy them, but I need to know whether I've been streaming enough, whether I've been streaming enough days, or if going past that wouldn't benefit the current audience. More hours, more day, and hey, generations! Welcome to the discussion. Today is the unfun discussion, where I have to address the business side of things. Not exactly the entertainment stream today. Something is causing this little Bluetooth keyboard to fall apart at the seams every time. What is with this thing? It doesn't stay snapped. Oh well. Excuse me. Well, the question as to whether I can or not really depends on whether it's desired to be more. Is there a specific time I should be aiming for? Is there a specific length of stream that's ideal for the active viewer base? Because really when it comes down to it, my most active viewers are, well, I guess it is the three of you. Generations to a lesser extent. Set times, that is possible, but I need to know whether there's a time that I can aim for that would be ideal, or if I haven't, I mean, if I should continue scattering across the board to find the right time. It seems like right now, around lunchtime for me, which is going to be much more afternoon for the UK audience, if this is the ideal I should be aiming for. set times can be done, but I need to know from my current audience what time that is, and see. I'll have to kind of gauge what kind of audience grows from that as well. 5 p.m. to 12. Just for my, I guess, time zone distanced position, what time is it for you right now? Right, UK. I don't know how many time zones cover the UK, or whether you all fit within one time zone, because I know the US spans 4 different time zones, if not 5. I think it's just 4. Minute past 7. So starting this is even, starting around noon is even just an hour late for the possible starting time. Is that a reliable time year round? And since you're also in the UK, Dr. Whitefur, your perspective on that, is that a good time zone for you as well?
Wonderful. That's everything. Just gonna walk this over to the vault.
So the I guess that means from about 11 on.
Thanks again.
Hey, it's
Well, 11 is a good 11 a.m. for me is a good starting time for at least 2 of the active audience.
Good answer.
But that puts me into the midday to morning for U.S. audiences.
Sean has been changed, but he absolutely refuses to calm down. I think he needs some of that maternal affection. You seem to be
So Generations, you'll be my U.S. representative at this point, although I wish I had more U.S. representation here to kind of help me structure this. But it is what it is.
My boy isn't
Yes.
giving his mother any trouble, is he?
Yes to what?
Picked that mobile on his crib the other day.
Yes to that time, the 11 on being a good time, or the delay is killing me here. I may want to actually be typing this.
On his best behavior, just like his dad. Well, most of the time. Listen, after breakfast, I was thinking we could head to the park
Youth,
here.
youth representation.
Yeah, sounds like fun.
Sir,
Well, anyways,
come and see this.
I don't know how I'm going to grow my audience within the US at this point, because it seems like something about the nature of my stream, whether it's the timing or my demeanor, seems to have really drawn European audiences more strongly than US audiences from day one. That's not even new. I just don't know what should or what can be done about it. It's possible nothing should be done about it. But from the financial standpoint, it does complicate things.
Confirmed reports of nuclear detonations in New York and Pennsylvania. My God.
We need to get to the vault. Now!
I've got Sean. Let's go.
Codsworth? Stay safe, honey.
And your family as well, Mama?
Residents of Sanctuary Hills, if you are registered, evacuate to Vault 111 immediately.
So, as a U.S., I don't even know if I can pronounce that many representative. Anyways, having fun with that one. What is the time zone that works best for you personally, then? Because I don't think you can very well represent anybody who might be of the high school or, you know, higher education age. You can represent yourself just fine. Although you're in the higher education age. So, to a certain extent. Late. So the best time for you is the late night stuff, which would be like ungodly dark of the night. So 2 streams a day would be something, but I need to know if it's something I should be thinking of.
We're on the list.
Infant, adult male, adult female. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Good luck, sir.
Follow me. Come on. What's gonna happen?
Because there's something very unstructured about my streams right now. I do my lates, but I haven't really considered which games should be streamed at what time zone. And nothing stops me from doing the midday and the UK's perfect time zones, other than
there. Is Sean okay?
He's fine. We're gonna be okay.
So you're talking about,
Oh my
wow,
God.
I'd have to divide my day evenly. Oh, okay. Okay, white fur. So, it's not impossible for me to divide my day in half exactly, to basically do the morning streams. And then, I mean, because we're literally talking about a stream at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. both. Which would mean I'd have to somehow either start my day at the 11 p.m. and end at the termination of the 11 p.m. stream, which could go on for several hours. And sleep that, that chunk that's on that side of things.
A better future underground.
But with 2 streams being exactly 12 hours apart, that does make things interesting.
Don't get caught up thinking about that. You're safe now.
I'd either have to set myself up to streaming with naps in between and figure out how well I can do that, or find something else. I'd either have to restrict, you know, my audience, or start basically having a divide of live streams and I guess video format things.
Pick up a suit right over there. Just step over to the table.
7 hours, is that, I mean, you said it was just past 7, which in my clock was just past 1. So my mental math is failing to ascertain whether that's 7 hours, 6 hours, or 8 hours difference, because math not my strong suit, even when it's plain as day.
He'll show you where to go.
All right.
I'm just gonna leave that there. My brain is that frazzled right now. 6 hours, that's 6 hours. Okay, so that's the difference there.
Oh, you're gonna love it. This is one of our most advanced facilities. Not that the others aren't great, mind you. Oh, we'll be going over all that in orientation. Just a few medical items we have to get through first.
And that's another, if I'm going to be dividing my streams between 2 separate audiences, well, for one, I don't have a US audience to fill that late one other than Generations, which isn't necessarily meaning I shouldn't do it. It could be something to possibly gain more consistent US viewership. But then I have to know what to stream at what hours, what the different audiences care for.
Who's my little guy, huh?
Because that's not as easy for me to perceive. Cater to other view.
Mommy's not going far.
Well, humans.
Step inside and put on your vault suit.
I want to say that that's not exactly a bad idea, Generations, to basically focus on the larger audience and let the US fill in when the US will. The problem is I've never gained US viewership, and I haven't figured out why.
The pod will decontaminate and depressurize you before we head deeper in the vault. Just relax.
Yeah, but you tend to be a less active... Now, this isn't a judgment. This is an assessment from my kind of perspective. It's nothing that you should feel like it's held against you, but at certain times you're less active in stream, and the active stream viewership is what strengthens my stream and kind of increases the quality. So it's not to say I can't provide you entertainment that you can sit more passively back and do, but that's never been the strength of my stream. The interactivity is my stream strength. It's what got me the strongest streams in the past. Again, it was with 2 UK viewers that kind of sparked the life into everything. So it seems that's happened yet again. 2 completely different UK viewers, but that is the state of things.
This is the one. Here.
Because, well, then right now is a scheduling discussion.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It becomes, eventually a matter of how can I even afford such a thing. I guess the ideal is to hit the prime time for each of my viewers. And that still doesn't exactly cover the financial side of streaming. But that's not the discussion just yet. This is more about where do I spend my time? And how do I spend my time? Because I went through a period of time where I had much more regular viewers that would stick in for ridiculous hours. But that was a time and a place long since lost.
Come on. There has to be a release. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, God. I'll find who did this. And I'll get Sean back. I promise.
Because there's a kind of a... in my head. Probably should have gone for coffee instead of Pepsi as my wake-up juice. Good grief. Caffeine's not always so kind to me. I mean, sugar, that is. Caffeine's kind to me. Sugar, not so much. So, I suppose White Fur is temporarily absent, but Potato, you really surprised. I was surprised at how much you really got into the that Titanfall stream. That was very much a run around and blitzy, crazy, insane action, which, by the way, I realize there's a problem to doing the Titanfall streams on YouTube because of the resolution reduction for YouTube. YouTube doesn't allot me as much bandwidth as Twitch did, and neither one of them pay me at this point. But if I were to forego the dependence on potentially the platform paying me, then it's a matter of determining how I'm going to get my income elsewhere. But having such different interests, Titanfall definitely benefits from a higher resolution broadcast at. My PS4 can readily broadcast stable frame rates at 1080p, but YouTube won't permit it. Which means for Titanfall, might be better if I were to go... Oh, I just read that. You at 1 p.m. US, which is reasonable time for all of us. Streaming 1 p.m. Okay. while that doesn't exactly nail the time that's good for generations, other than him being here now, at least from what he was saying, that definitely does sound like a compromise. To start with, not a bad idea at all, at any level. But, then it becomes a matter, if I'm going to have one stream, what do I stream on that? Should I differentiate the content? Because I do lots of survival games, which have their a completely fundamentally different appeal than Titanfall 2. No, he's referring to 1 p.m. U.S., which in my case is Central Standard Time. He's talking about 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, bearing in mind that that's a bit later for Eastern. Or is it earlier? Gosh, I can't remember how time zones frickin' work. Later? Horizon East, Set, and West. So that would be later for the Eastern Standard Time Zone, and for Mountain and Western, that would be earlier. But I've never gotten anybody from Western Time Zone or Mountain Time Zone. Yeah, California, I really don't care about California. Never had viewership from there, and I don't know that I necessarily would get good viewership from there. Could be wrong, I'd love to be wrong on that one, but that's pending seeing. Okay. Well, that means I've got you, Generations, to continue this discussion. So when it comes down to it, what kind of stream content, regardless of your, you're a friend, Generations. But if you take that out of the thing, which of my gameplay streams have entertained you personally the most? I have no need to read that. Arc is the one that really gets you. That does make sense, especially since you recently invested in it, which would be amazing for actually doing collaborative streams, which kind of puts your responses on a separate platform, as I'd have to heed the fact that, to a large extent, you and I met as fellow streamers, which means your interest will always be bent in that direction, I'd assume. I'm sure you enjoy watching them, but to a certain extent there's business potential in pursuing the right things to match yours, Generations. And that's definitely something that I've considered. The difficulty there is a collaborative plan. So that puts our conversation separately in that case. Unless watching Arc as a non-collaborator is your interest there. Just to clarify. Either would be fine, I just need to know the difference. It actually hit me. I've never actually successfully gotten them all to suicide on that. That's kind of neat. So, Ark is definitely, I believe, if I remember, White Fur also purchased Ark, so there is potential for collaborative streams, even from the non-co-streamer perspective. But I do need to hear from your mouth there, Generations, if the intent is for you to live stream Ark at the same time that I would, as part of the viewership if you wanted to collaborate. And that's also something I have to factor in all the intended potential collaborative efforts that could spring from my stream. Anything to reinforce the stream is a fantastic thing for me to discover. Ah, so you'd really not want to be collaborating right now. You're purely a viewer with game interests. Good to know the difference right now. Okay. So if I were streaming... Okay. I think I get that now. Purely just watching. Okay. I know that Mr. Potato likes the survival streams as well, but it became clear with my last stream that the more actiony shooter stuff is... Oh, you are okay, so you're out of the streaming, but into the structured video perspective. I misunderstood that. Interesting. Yeah, there's nothing in me with a capacity for video editing. That was my first attempt, and I have some videos demonstrating my own failures on that. Okay. My brain is trying to kind of sort out everything. Oh! Almost let that one sneak past me. Multitasking, something I used to be much better at than I am now. Used to be one of my stream strengths. That was everything, right? So, structured videos. My brain. I may start brewing coffee partway through this, just for everyone's thing. If I hop up, it's not because I'm leaving the stream, it's because I'm making some apparently much needed coffee. But, let's see, what have I gained from this so far? Time. Potato, are you there? Actively at this point? Because I have some particular questions for you. Been making a lot of statements, and I need some affirmation on some of them. Okay, awesome. So I've got you. You seemed... I think, if I remember correctly, and I want to make sure I've got this, you said during the Titanfall 2 stream that was the best stream yet. Did I misread that at the time? Or was that literally the most entertained you've been during one of my streams? Oh dear. Well, where's the inline?
Vault door cycling sequence initiated. Please stand back.
I did misread it. Okay. I don't know how I missed that one. I was questioning it at the time. I'm like, that's odd. It was unexpected. I know you enjoyed it. You made that clear. I just wasn't sure whether that was the most preferred or whether it was just really exciting. So if you were to say which stream content is your favorite based on genre, is it still going to be survival, or... I guess clarify that for me. I asked just so that I wouldn't wind up assuming.
Enjoy your return to the surface, and thank you for choosing Vault Tech.
Okay, so the preference is still the survival. Now here's another question. Was the Skyrim survival, I guess to compare the Skyrim survival up against, let's say, the Ark survival, which of the survival's perspectives did you prefer? The one where it's more social-centric with the kind of NPC role-playing stuff going on? Or was it the more free-form, survival-centric, to the exclusion of most else, like Ark Survival Evolved is? Medical liquid nitrogen. It's just steel. It's too steel for all that weight. Oh well, offloading that weight's not too far from now. Oh, they start me off with the Doom Marine armor? That's odd. Wow, that's unexpected. Doom Marine armor overrides literally everything else. Well. Right, but I guess my my question, I mean, slow paced is not inherently a bad thing for many people. So I guess I'm trying to gain your personal, since you're, you know, the one that's a little bit more of an unknown when it comes to entertainment. You seem quite invested in some of the content, and it fluctuates pretty strongly based on it. But you seem to stick through it anyways. You like my streams regardless of how the last stream went, and I'm particularly grateful for that. But also curious about how to improve the overall state of my stream for every individual viewer, and for now I'm starting with you. If you don't mind being put a little bit on the spot. Because you're the most recent add to the stream, most recent viewer to become a regular, and you've done the most outreach for streams of the current active viewer base, which is quite interesting. You definitely came out of, I believe the expression is out of left field. A very unexpected boon for the stream. Very appreciated. But because it's unexpected, I don't know how to approach it. You're a new kind of viewer, I suppose I could say. Not wildly different, but definitely a very unique kind of viewer I've got. So Skyrim is the best relaxation stream so far? Oh, well, okay. Oh dear. Okay. Well, take care of yourself, Generations. Feel free to reach out to me when you're next available for some game or something. Absolutely. And in fact, feel free if you don't manage to get a good time to do it live, just reach out to me directly. You have that ability. Give me all the input you can conjure. Give it some thought if you can. Don't ask too much of you. Oh, that is not good. That hurt a bit. That hurt a bit. What have I done? So, let's see. Ah, there's the bit of it. That's not what I meant to do. White Fur, are you present? Mm. Surprisingly, that thing didn't afflict me with a whole lot of, looks like for all the different hits I took from those bloat flies, they didn't afflict me with a lot of rads. Interesting. That hurt a bit. Not hurt, but hurt my ammo supplies. Welcome back, Potato. It looks like Generations had to depart. Ooh, tired from lack of sleep. Hmm. But, let's see. Why is she in surprisingly preserved state? A sweet roll. What does the mechanic? Oh, this is. I wonder if that's an undersuit. Interesting. Let's take it. And you get out of my bed. Let's see. Noodle cups. Very good. So with the content interests partially laid out, there's a few more things I'm sorting out in my brain. Yeah, this is where if I could get a kind of a PR assistant, that would be a fantastic thing for my stream. I am always a little bit off on this stuff. Wait, why can't I sleep here? That's an unusable mattress? Huh. Well, that's a pity. Let's... The mechanic's jumpsuit does seem to apply armor. But for an increased perception and intelligence with no armor rating. A little bit odd. Yep, that immediately removed the mechanic jumpsuit, so I'm without armor for now. Let's just further increase our perception. Kind of like the look of that. So, when it comes to games, how were you on the Let It Die playthroughs, Potato? Did that have any appeal for you? Ooh, puppers. But they've already got me detected somehow. Let's find a good perspective from which to get some shots on these things. There's no breach on this thing. What's the damage output difference? That's pretty significant, actually. But let's try this out. The sights on this are actually a little bit easier to use, although its barrel is snubbed, which isn't always good. Okay, so Let It Die is not something you'd be enthusiastic about watching. You'd just tolerate it as one of the things I stream. Is that more or less accurate, that assessment? It's something you'd watch just because it's my stream, but you wouldn't watch because it's interesting to you personally. Those dogs patrolling, I really need their meat. Oh, I know how to deal with these guys. Perfect. Okay, so I got it pretty correctly. Reason I ask is because that's a game that did seem to get me a lot of random viewership, but random viewership that wasn't actually talking, which is all well and good for most streams, but since communication is key for my streams, it's probably not the best thing for most of my streams. That being said, it certainly was a good communication-centric thing for generations and potential viewers that might be made more active in the same way that he was. So that's a good thing to know the difference on, for me. Now there is a game that I've been considering adding to my stream repertoire, which I haven't played before. It's called XCOM. And I've been thinking about adding tactics games because a lot of the way that I approach combat in survival games is identical to how you'd want to approach a tactics game. You know, choosing how to approach each... He's got me detected. Oh my gosh, 2-shot dead. Wow. I'd forgotten how crazy survival is in Fallout 4. Whew! Instant. He got some lucky hits on me. Instant, wow. First shot crippled my arm, the other one killed me. That is the nature of the game. Wow. Good grief. Survival mode in this is no joke. Detroit Become Human probably is not a game that I would do well on. Even if viewers would become active in it, it's not my kind of thing. I don't think that would be a good call for me. I think that's a game better played by different kinds of personalities than mine. So I'm gonna say I don't have a lot of confidence in that one. It's not a bad game. Don't get me wrong. If I don't play a game, it's not because the game's bad, it's because I don't think I can keep any level of good performance stream-wise, anything unique to add to it. Because I don't want to play a game just so people can see the game. I want to play the game so that I can be additive to the experience of the game. Because if you can just play the game anyways, and there's no benefit to it being me playing the game versus anybody else, it's probably not a good stream for me. I think the most important thing is that I can add to the entertainment value of whatever game I'm playing. If I can't be additive, then I'm a redundant piece of the gameplay experience. The more freeform a game is, you know, games that don't put you on rails, that give you multiple approaches to things, the more that you have freedom to do things in a fundamentally different way that isn't part of 1 to 5 different choices, then the better it is. Detroit Become Human is a game all about choices, but the number of outcomes as resulting from those choices is quite a few, but it's not infinite. Not the way that open world games end up being. So to a large extent, sticking to games where there is only gameplay and it's how you're gonna do it is probably the better bet. To a certain extent, the only reason Fallout 4 is a stream I do, and the reason I do it in survival mode, is because while the story is very restrictive, there's only a certain number of outcomes in the entire game. each individual instant of the game has a million different approaches depending on where you're walking, what you're thinking of when you're doing it. There's just... Skyrim is in the same vein, where how you choose to become the hero of your sort is very personalized. So the less scripted dialogue sequence, long form interactions that are all pre-calculated and voice acted, the fewer of those, the better. To a certain extent, if I could get my hands on a game for this platform that had no voice acting whatsoever, was purely just trillions of lines of possible dialogue typed out so as to save on file size, something old school, that would come closer if there's going to be dialogue at hand. As soon as you get voice acting, you're cutting down the number of lines that can possibly be done by ridiculous amounts. Great for some kinds of entertainers, but not for me, I think. Not for me, I think. The more it's dependent on the approach to gameplay, I think the better. Which is why I've been considering XCOM. A tactics game still restricts the number of possible choices, but at the same time throws so many possible deviations into the progression that it might be a brilliant idea. But I definitely appreciate game suggestions, even if I shoot them down. I don't want you to suggest fewer as a result of it. That one's definitely crossed my mind, particularly because my stepbrother has been wanting me to do it. And my stepbrother is not interested in my streams whatsoever, but that's kind of telling. Very interested in me playing the game so as to share that commonality, but not so much to see the live stream. It would never actually result in viewership. And it's not so much the added... I guess it's a reactionary desire from my stepbrother's perspective. He wants to actually see my reactions to things, which is fine, but I don't think I'm first and foremost a reaction stream. I could be wrong on that. If that's what's appealed to some people, then that's possible that I should give some more serious consideration to the value of my reactions, and as to whether I should permit myself into games that, I guess, shake my stability a bit more. I mean, I still react quite heavily in, you know, dire circumstances in survival games, but I feel like that's not a forced thing. Danger comes in survival, and that's part of the nature of it, but you're not doing it just to see things go wrong. At least that's not my initial thought. I would have sworn there would be something around here. Nothing. Okay, enjoy yourself. I'll be here. I know that once I've gotten everybody's individual interests down, I will be discussing potential ways for me to actually begin to grow the stream monetarily. Because there are lots of things I've lost since I began the stream, and regaining them is a high priority for me. Oh, there's multiple ghouls. Interesting. I wonder. The other one didn't wake? Really interesting. Oh, that's a good thing to keep mindful of. That's instant death. Stay undetected, please. Stimpack and antibiotics. That's marvelous. Well, let's grab a simple 4 hours of sleep. Wait, that didn't permit me my upgrade? Oh, I didn't have an upgrade. Thought it said level sleep to level up. Guess I misunderstood. Well, this is interesting. But I have just saved, so it's possible to actually see if I have what it takes to take on these raiders. Or maybe I should wait until nighttime. That might be a good call. And I apparently didn't get enough rest to count as sleep. Darkness is my friend. Still tired, but now I'm thirsty. Properly hydrated. But still tired. That's irksome. Still not well rested. That's messed up. Took a little bit of rads for that, but probably worth it. Probably. Where's the dog? There's the dog. The dog is asleep. If I can kill them from... Well, these things are very noisy. Probably can't get away with it. The dog's gonna be a higher priority because it'll come up out of nowhere. Three raiders. Dog. That dog is gonna... I mean, they can kill me instantly from a distance, but the dog will surprise me while I'm evading their fire. I need to be able to duck behind cover. Oh, shoot! Taking cover right there, are we? Oh, shoot! You're still alive? That could have gotten a lot worse. Wow, it worked. Now where's that pupper? Mongrel dog meat. Yeah, I'll take that. Wonderful. Successful raid on bandits. Proper ambush. Not bad. The Molotov definitely made a difference. That's some good stuff. Why would there be a 45 round here? No complaints from that. Good sleeping bag. They killed themselves a rabid mole rat. Grilled rad stag is amazing to get because that's improved carry weight temporarily. Food makes a massive difference in survival mode. Absolutely fantastic. So let's see. One of them had a shotgun, I think. Is it a makeshift? It is a standard double barrel. And now I've got myself a pipe pistol for modification purposes. That's good. I'll have to scrap one of these things. One of these shotguns. With a lot of rounds still for that, probably best if I stick with my 10mm for now until I can find a more sustainable source of ammo in the future. There were more raiders than I thought. But that's too much weight. But I have the grilled rad stag from before, so for 2 minutes, improved carry weight. I'm going to go ahead and pop that now. And I'm going to make my way down out of the hills. Gotta watch out for the blood bugs. They're also insta-death creatures. So, I'm being indicated as having 2 viewers right now. I assume one of them is my preview. Who's still in stream? What is detecting me as well? Can't be you, can it? It was it. That was the thing. Well, I need to extract that thing's body before it floats further downriver. And I would go in here to extract some stuff, but rads are particularly brutal at this point in the game, so I'm going to avoid it. I'll come back when I have more resistance to them. gosh. That doesn't make sense. Is this the... One of these houses should... Interesting. You've leveled up. It says I've leveled up. Have I actually leveled up? I could make Psycho, but why would I want to make Psycho? Caltrops. Now these are surprisingly important in survival mode. So that's good stuff. I need to drink some water though. So we've got caltrops. Let's get those ready, actually. That should be good. So... Nothing in any of these loot stashes. That's unfortunate. How did that do nothing? I must have just missed it. Two sneak attacks, good for experience and for avoiding damage. Man. So, oh, that's right. I still am carrying around the extra weight beyond my typical limit. I'm only able to get this far because of the meal I ate, so I have to be careful.
That's it.
So I should be heading. A gray knit cap. I can't remember what stat that buffs. Luck. I'm not gonna be wearing that one. Oh, I never went and got the outfit from one. Wait, no way. I could pretend I have. That's good stuff. Nothing protecting my chest, so a bit vulnerable to body shots and head shots for now, but I'm waiting for people to, excuse me, be back. You know, actually, with with a lack of anything else to wear in the head slot other than potentially these really raidery looking headgear. Oh, welding. Oh. No, let's go welding goggles. Because the eyeglasses, I've done to death. I'm ready to take a break from eyeglasses. And let's just put on the gray knit cap.
Codsworth?
As I live and breathe. Oh, it's really...
I need to get some coffee.
Codsworth, you're still here. So other people could still be alive too.
Well, of course I'm still here. Surely you don't think a little radiation could deter the pride of General Atomics International? But you seem the worse for wear. Best not let the hubby see you in that state, huh? Where is Sir, by the way?
He's in a better place.
Oh, Mum, these things you're saying, these terrible things, I believe you need a distraction. Yes, a distraction to calm this dire mood. It's been ages since we've had a proper family activity. Checkers, or perhaps charades. Oh, Sean does so love that game. Is the lad with you?
Sean's been kidnapped. I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna get my baby back.
It's worse than I thought. You're suffering from hunger-induced paranoia. Not eating properly for 200 years will do that, I'm afraid.
200 years? What? Are you sure?
A bit over 210, actually, Mum. Give or take a little for the Earth's rotation and some minor dings to the old chronometer. That means you're 2 centuries late for dinner. Perhaps I can whip you up a snack. You must be famished.
Codsworth, you're acting a little weird. What's wrong?
Mum, it's been just horrible. Centuries with no one to talk to, no one to serve. I spent the first 10 years trying to keep the floors waxed, but nothing gets out nuclear fallout from vinyl wood. Nothing. And don't get me started about the futility of dusting a collapsed house. And the car. How do you polish rust?
Stay with me, pal. Focus.
I'm afraid I don't know anything, Mum. The bombs came and all of you left in such a hurry. I thought for certain you and your family were dead. I did find this holotape. I believe Sir was going to present it to you as a surprise. But then, well, everything happened.
Thank you, Codsworth.
You're welcome. Now, enough feeling sorry for myself. Shall we search the neighborhood together? Sir and young Sean may turn up yet.
All right. Lead the way.
Proud to serve, Mum. Mum, not this time.
And they detected him from a distance.
What's all this then? Peekaboo! Running the show all right.
Codsworth.
Miss Solomon, your family isn't here either. They're really gone, aren't they?
Sean's out there, Codsworth. I need to find him.
What about Concord, Mum? Plenty of people there. Last I checked, they only pummeled me with sticks a few times before I had to run back home.
Thanks for your help, Codsworth.
Good luck, Mum. You'll find young Sean. I know you will. I shall remain here and secure the home.
Nope. Past my limit. That's not a good thing. Gonna have to offload some in here. Well, let's just offload some stuff in there. That should work.
Yes.
Ooh, a heavy pipe pistol. What luck. A modified pistol on the onset? Yes, please. I've never actually gotten a modified 10mm in the first sequence. It's quite lucky. I'm still under the influence of that rad stag grilled. So let's go ahead and store all junk. Good fortune. The heavy weight is a problem, but the extra firepower, not so much. I'll take it. Their weight is identical, so I'm just gonna take the handmaids because I like the handmade shotguns. Quite nice. That should be good. That wasn't much needed. But that did exhaust all my adhesive. No! Which means these can definitely not be. That burns through leather, though. May not want to be dyeing things just yet. Scrappy looking. Good resources there. Bit of steel. Let's see what radio station this is tuned into.
Here's a thing. A sort of note, I guess, from a sponsor here in Diamond City, and I'll just read it. Commonwealth weaponry. It's a dangerous world out there. Protect yourself. Protect your family. This here is Danny K.
Beds are much needed at this point. Repurpose the bathroom into a bedroom. Sounds good. Steel and cloth. It's not bad. That being said, sleep much needed. And why did that not give... Oh, there we go. My level's available. This is probably the most important starter perk for as easily destroyed as I'll be. So kind of essential. The scrapper perk. It sets you back in many ways, but at the same time, gear is absolutely everything. Stealth is second place. Let's see, is there a good desk thing? That makes me wonder. Something I learned I wish to apply. If these receive power via connected structures, then I should be able to actually power this entire building, relatively speaking. I think most of the building. This, and a generator. We'll just put that like... Let's put it like... Let's see. It didn't do it. That's unfortunate. Maybe it's proximity? No, but it's definitely not. That's not going to work, is it? Well, let's store them as they are. That's unfortunate. Let's get ourselves some water. Concrete is lacking. That's been resolved. Steel galore. And a bit of concrete from that. Didn't realize that was some of my starter concrete. Did not know that. I can't really rely on the picket fence. Actually, Fertilizer is something I lack, though. That'll have to come later. Good to know. This requires 4 power to produce the 10 units of water it produces, but that shouldn't be a problem. It's not possible to stick them on that. Okay, good to know. Let's try and get that about the level of it. Nope, nope, snap down. Man, it is not wanting to... How far was I off? That will have to do. Let's get this generator set up. I'm gonna put it right. This is gonna be... That's good enough. Now the question is, can I actually...
Looks like it's in working order.
Wait, it cut off.
Looks like it's in working order.
So it doesn't actually... Well, what's it doing then? Hold on. Yeah, it's not producing that. I wonder if there's a period of time you have to wait. Anyways, until then, I'll have a hand pump to produce the necessary liquids for bottling and drinking direct. Actually, no, there's a better way to do this. Just remembered. I believe it's in miscellaneous and you go over to... No, that's not it at all. Oh, I do have light sources that don't require power. Interesting. That's good to know.
Well, I will reinitiate this a little bit later. There's no point in leaving this in dead space.